Welcome to Le Foot, your podcast about French football, where we congratulate PSG for the Ligue title and Auxerre for securing their spot in Ligue 1 next season. Paris FC crashed the party somewhat with a derby win, and speaking about crashing, Nice, they will be heading to a playoff with Saint-Étienne, and the supporters stormed the pitch at Allianz Arena. Will they be able to stay up? Lille and Lyon finally grabbed the Champions League spots, but in the worst possible style, and Marseille will have to settle with Europa League football for next year. But with what players? The rumors are that almost everyone is for sale. Transfer rumors, Lassine Sinayoko's brilliance, the dramatic Le Foot Pronos conclusion, and much more as always. On y va.
Hello and welcome back to another week of Le Foot.
Great to be here.
Yeah.
And we have Jeff back.
Jeff is back from Ireland.
How are you?
Back from the Green Island, yes. No, I'm doing well. Nice to be back. I listened to the episode you guys had last week, and it was nice to hear about the baby Guinnesses. I was letting you guys know before we started this episode that I'm a proper Guinness drinker these days.
Okay.
Yeah, because you know when you go to the Guinness Museum, you get like the history and more background to the drink itself, and then I just haven't tried or drank it the last couple of years, so. When I did try it there, I felt it was a beer for me. So like,
how many Guinnesses do you have in your fridge at the moment?
I don't have any, but I came home late Saturday and I think I had enough there for sure. But I also think like, I don't know if I'm going to be drinking Guinness at home. It'll be more like when you are at an Irish pub or somewhere close to that. It might not still be, you know, if you go out and it's a really hot day and you sit outside, it might be more leaning towards a Stella or, you know, something closer to that. But no, Guinness is nice.
Very good. But did you eat any nice Irish food? Is there such a thing?
I mean, we rented a car and drove around Ireland for quite a few days before going to Dublin. So with that said, like, sometimes we stopped at places, you know, which didn't have the best food to offer. So I'm not sure if you can include that in the equation, but nevertheless, I would say I'm somewhat disappointed with the food. We ate at some really good restaurants in Dublin, but apart from that, I mean, what they offered were like pub food.
Yeah.
Some were better than others, but like in general, I wouldn't say like great. But I don't think anyone really expect Ireland to be like a food cuisine or like
it's more the Guinness.
Yeah,
it's the Guinness,
and that makes you full as well.
That's all you need. And then we've missed him dearly, our guy Jeff here. Yeah. But how are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm doing good. I've had a lovely weekend with my girlfriend here. She recently moved to Helsinki and
represent.
I'm staying here in Stockholm. Yeah, represent.
But that's nice.
So yeah, we had a nice weekend here in Stockholm.
Good, and the Liga temperature. I mean, we are done now, but it's hot as always.
Yeah. Like. It's really a lot happened yesterday.
All right, jumping into this episode, we've had, I would say, I mean, there's so much to stake in all these fixtures, so there's been a lot of games interesting from different perspectives, but we're starting off with Lens, where Lyon could, you know, really conclude their place of grabbing Champions League. They did not, they lost, but that didn't really matter, but they lost 4-0 against Lens. I think we're starting off with the atmosphere before the game with the tifo.
Yeah, it really deserved a better result from the home players, to be honest, because we have the audience all dressed in. Basically, almost everyone had white, and they were paying homage to Fleury Di Nallo, which we talked about many episodes ago in Club of the Week, who passed away sadly last week, 83 years old. So. Thoughts are with his close ones, and there was a beautiful tifo with him sitting on a throne. But then when the match started, I mean, wow! You had Lens; they just came with pace, and Said scoring 2 goals from the same position, basically from the left, and one with the right foot and one with the left foot, and then I think Lyon in trouble.
Yeah, and it really felt like Lyon's performed in the way we saw them like the first half of the season, coming out really strong, scoring goals with combination plays and quality in the final third, and also being very stable defensively. Even though Lyon had a couple of chances, Sulch didn't really give Lyon that many chances throughout the entire game. So a really well-performed game from Lens that finished off the season perhaps a bit disappointed. I mean, no Ligue title, no coup, but going out in fashion some way.
Yeah, and I think we need to, because we're not going to talk about that match. It's old news now, but on Wednesday last week, as we talked about, PSG went to Lens and they were going to play for the title there, and PSG won 2-0. And I think now it's almost like they play relaxed again, Lens, because the title is not in the mix. They are not contenders. PSG won it. But 2 good matches to end the season for Lens. Even that match against PSG, they did well. Yeah. PSG was a bit of a robbery, but nice goals from PSG, must be said. But guys, we must just address Lyon coming into this match. They have everything to play for. Direct qualification Champions League spot if they win. Yeah. If they would have won this match, they would have got it. And then you have this result on the pitch. Dennis, I mean, how disappointed should the supporters be? They get Champions League spot, but this is the match they received.
I think they should be very disappointed. I mean, they are great supporters for Lyon. And I think that they should... Lens shouldn't come to Lyon in the last match of the season and Lyon concedes 4 goals. I don't think that it's a fair thing from the players on the pitch of Lyon to put that kind of performance up.
No, I can only agree. I think in this type of tight match when you have 2 top clubs, one thing we talked about it when PSG beat Marseille with 5-0. Like, you need to keep it down. You can't go and lose this big in a match which has a lot at stake. I totally agree. There is something wrong here, and of course we can look at the Lyon defense, but we can also then look at the offense not producing. Hendrik and Sulch did not have the greatest match, and disappointing.
Yeah, I think the back 4 also with Mata, Maitland-Niles, I mean all of them, and Grief in goal. Yeah. It was just a shit performance, to be fair. Yeah,
and the call out of Maitland-Niles there, I mean, that's where it happened in the first half when I think they lost the game. 2 goals in a short time on his side from Said. I think that's a dreadful performance.
But, I mean, luckily for Lyon, it didn't really matter, did it?
No, it must be a weird feeling going home from Groupama Stadium as a Lyon supporter, because, like you say, it didn't matter.
But a game that did matter.
Oh, yeah.
Rennes.
Oh, yeah, and speaking about not taking chances, but first of all, credit to the Marseille players. What a horrible spring they've had, and to finish up at home in style. I mean, they go 3-0 up here, and I mean, 1.5 minutes in, you have Højbjerg, who we've been very critical of, and a lot of people have been very critical of. He scores a great goal. He later also provides an assist, but I think Celestri in the Rennes goal, what a mistake for the 2-0. He shoots the ball on Guiri and it goes into the goal, and that kind of mistake early on in a match from a goalkeeper when you're fighting for Champions League football, it's not really good enough. But I think let's
some context there also. UM was up 2-0 after 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And we know they like to concede late and get a late draw.
Yeah.
But I mean, 2-0 here at the Velodrome felt like they had the fans in the back. Throughout the game, you just couldn't see them getting a draw or losing from here. They just, I think that they did a good game.
They did a good match, yeah. And I think here, The only thing that could be different is that we could have seen more goals from both clubs. I mean, there was some great plays and chances from Marseille. There was also Mbolo in Rennes had some good chances to equalize. But I think overall, fair enough that OM gets the 3 points. But if we just stop at the final whistle, it was almost silent. Because I think the OM fans, their disappointment, not this match, but from previously, that there will be no Champions League, etc. The season is over. I think, in a way, it's a worthy way to respond to a season. It's no boos, no cheers, just talking to your friend next door, and then you steadily walk home. Which I think was quite telling. But Le Paul scoring... The only Rennes goal for the evening, and 21 goals now. We just need to stop there. It's impressive.
Yeah.
It's really, really impressive.
Yeah, with 5 goals ahead of both Panicelli and Greenwood on 16. Panicelli haven't been playing for a while due to injury.
Yeah.
But still 5 goals ahead. So yeah, but I mean for him also like... considering how all the other games went, if Rennes would have won this game, they would have been up for Champions League next year.
Yeah.
So I think they are really disappointed with that. So they got conference next year, and OM gets Europa League, considering the outcome of this game. So I think both clubs here, after the 90 minutes, were, nor happy nor sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
definitely.
And then speaking about nor happy nor sad, or actually happy, but a match that didn't mean that much when it comes to the table. But it's a derby and we have to address it, and it's actually a historical one because it was the first Ligue 1 win for Paris FC versus PSG. Oi, what a match, because Paris FC came out flying here. But actually, I want to address one thing that happened before the match, which is, I mean, it's been talked about in the footballing world now today. And it's that before this match, before the warm-up, the decision was that PSG would lift their trophy. Before the match. When there was only some PSG supporters in the away section was there. So they actually lifted the trophy, then went and did the warm-up, and then go into a derby. Isn't that strange?
Yeah, I think small factors like that might also affect the outcome of the game, because ahead of a game, they were going to win the league before the game. I mean, that was already finished. But if you celebrate the victory of winning the league ahead of a game, I think like small, obviously, but like a bit mentally, like what kind of signals does that send to you? Like you've already won, and then you're going to go out and play this. Yeah. So I think that might be a factor also, considering they're already won and playing the Champions League final. But I agree with you. Paris FC coming out strong after this. Yeah,
maybe they wanted to prove something, that we are the home team here. And PSG started with some star players as well. I think it's fair to say that Kvaratskhelia, you had Dembélé as well. So it's not like you really had a... How do you say, the B11, and then everyone else is waiting for the Champions League. I think they really came out here, and then Barcola scoring 1-0 as well after some good combination play. Yeah. But then in 60 plus minutes you have a substitution coming on, and I mean let's talk about that for a minute. Goury. He comes on, he scores barely 10 minutes after, and then in the 94th minute, counter-attack, he brings on in the empty net a well-deserved victory for Paris FC, and what a way to end their season. PSG should of course be very happy and proud of the league win, but that was secured already last week on Wednesday. Paris FC, Dennis, what a season.
Yeah, what a season. And especially the second half of the season, and I must say on top of that, especially since Kombarea stepped in, what a tremendous job he has done for Paris FC. I mean, on an average of 191 points per game, that's a really good team.
And we shouldn't forget that they are I mean, they are newcomers.
Yeah.
So they are getting a stable 11th position in the league table, and I think, hats off to Kumbaria and some of the players who have stepped up.
It's great to see.
It's really good to see, and I think here we need to mention, I think Ruiz and Barcola still did a decent performance for PSG, but I think the rest of them maybe, I'm wondering if they have the thoughts on Budapest and the Champions League final already. I mean, like you said, celebrate a trophy beforehand, Jeff. Then you go to warm up. You have the biggest club football match in Europe next week against Arsenal. So I think it's not the end of the world that they didn't come to their best here.
Yeah, no.
Maybe they could even give this one to Paris FC. But 3 matches between these clubs now. One in the Coupe, win Paris FC. The earlier one in the league, that one PSG won. But now we have a second victory. So actually, we have Paris FC, the little brother, right next door, grabbing more points against their local rival. And it's an interesting one.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Very interesting to see how that will follow up next season.
Yeah, and we have to address one thing ahead of the Champions League final, is that Dembélé went out minute 27, and I haven't seen the full reports yet on what that means, but Enrique sounds a bit calm, and he thinks that it's not something serious.
No, it should be fine. I read 2 articles just an hour or 2 ago, and it was related to one of his calves, and shouldn't be an issue whatsoever. Shouldn't be a problem for the final, and Hakim is coming back for the final as well, I think. So they should have a full strength to beat. Play against Arsenal.
You think Arsenal fans were hoping here when they saw exit for injury?
Yes, I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the game will and would have been great anyhow, and there will still be, a good fight. But I saw Vitinha. I think Vitinha got prize for being player of the season. But I mean, Dembélé is, if not the most important, him and Vitinha, and Kvaratskhelia has been great in the Champions League. But I mean, the point is Dembélé is very important for the team for sure.
League check, and we have the final standings.
And
PSG, as we already know, they won.
Yeah, and of course you can't argue with a 6-point difference up there, and I think we already talked about it, that Lens started dropping points maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 rounds ago, and I think that was their biggest issue. If they would have kept it up and won against Lorient and clubs like this, I think it would have been a tighter race. They did a fantastic job though, and I think we're gonna do an episode where we summarize of course, the champion PSG season, and then summarizing a bit more. But we had a match, we talked about it, that was a lot at stake, especially in the bottom. But Auxerre, they go play against Le Douge, and they grabbed 3 points away in it was an explosive atmosphere there as well in Lille, and they had everything to play for. But Auxerre came out, Lassine Sinayoko, 11th and 12th goal. I mean, Le Foot player, we'll see if he will be the Le Foot player of the season, but I mean, MVP for his club. When they needed him the most, he has stepped up, 3 straight victories, and they are safe. They're gonna play in Ligue next season. It's amazing.
Yeah,
and the first goal, it's such a beauty. He takes his own rebound and hits it. First he has a shot, and then the rebound, he takes it with his other foot right. I mean, there is no way any goalkeeper can save that. And then he just ice cold for 2-0, and I can't. We've talked about him a lot, but I mean, you can never stop giving praise to this kind of performance, I feel.
But then on the other side, I don't know how to explain it, but from the Nice perspective, they encountered each other in the last round. Auxerre winning 2-1, Nice having late good chances at the end of the game. Now ahead of this, Auxerre playing away against Lille, who's going for the Champions League, where Nice playing at home against already relegated weeks ago Metz. Should be an easy win, but 0-0 draw at home. So yeah, very disappointing from this perspective. But Auxerre really did the job when it mattered. Led by Sinayoko, as you described. Very, very, very impressive. And
can we call it a great escape? I think we can. They've been down there so long now.
Yeah,
they've been down there. There's been a gap up, and they don't even need to have the playoff. They're safe.
And we talked about it a couple of weeks ago when we were looking at the relegation battle, and we were saying that Auxerre have the chance because they play Nice in the not the last but the next last game, so they had the chance. But looking at the fixtures, everything was talking against them, and they were able to stay in the league anyway. So very, very impressive.
Yeah, and that I think Nice fans, if we just head over to that one briefly, after the match stormed the pitch, and it was furious scenes at Allianz Riviera. And the fans have the right to be angry. Of course, no fans has the right to storm the pitch and, instigate or act violently. But the disappointment is total.
And we also saw the Nantes supporters storming the pitch, but they didn't have as much patience as the Nice fans. They stormed it quite early in the game. I think it was about in the 20th minutes. Somewhat interesting, I would say, from a fan's perspective, like why they decided to do it after 20 minutes, because it wasn't really an incident in the game that had an impact. So it's definitely been spoken upon before the game that they were going to rush it, but the way they did it, it looked like a riot there, and all the players fleeing down the tunnels. But then I saw pictures from Wahid. He was trying. He was staying there, and then I don't know. It looks like he was crying in the bench corner, or he looked devastated.
A lot of emotions.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's a crazy thing, because we talked. Relegation is so tough, but I can agree that relegation was already set when they played Lens last weekend.
Yeah.
So this must be some other almost planned action to show your anger towards the ownership and the management of the club and the disappointment. So this feels more, like you said, planned than in this case. It was that the match was over and they realized that we're actually going to have to do the playoff. But yeah, it's super, of course, crazy that the match is suspended. Do you think it's going to be played? It's not really going to matter sport-wise.
No, it's not. And I read something from the France sport minister saying that this is unacceptable, and punishments need to be laid out. But I don't think the game is going to be played because it doesn't have any sport impact.
No.
And if that would be the case, I guess it will be without supporters. Nantes playing at home again. But if something, I guess, Nantes losing 3-0, automatic defeat or something like that.
And that's reasonable. And I think Toulouse won't. Of course, you want to play as a football pro every match, but it doesn't really matter the result. I think they should just try to move on now and not need to look forward to the work they need to do in Ligue 2. But two set of supporters in the final match week of Ligue 1 storms the pitch, and I think that's it's telling about the league. And none of those clubs are OM, by the way.
No, but about OM and storming the pitch, French football in the last couple of years, they have a bit of a nasty rumors when it comes to these chaotic matches and fans storming the pitch. So it got me thinking about when Nice played Marseille in 2021. So background here, Nice was up 1-0, and Payet was going to go out for OM and take a corner, and then he got a bottle thrown at him from the fans. He took it up and threw it back, which created chaos, and the Nice fans stormed the pitch, and the OM as well. So it was just crazy. And then also Jorge Sampaoli, he was coach for OM at that time. People might recognize him for being Argentina's coach in the World Cup 2018. But he was going full McGregor. He wanted to stay on the pitch and fight the fans. So other leaders other leaders in UM had to hold him back. So he was going full McGregor there.
Oh my God!
But it's an ill-tempered league. This, I mean, we're gonna summarize the craziest things from this season later in an episode. But I mean, we had to have different situations this season only. We can talk about raging fans. Is Nice another time as well? There seems to be an ongoing anger issue there.
And they're having it so nice at the Riviera. I don't see the angerness. It's been more from some northern
mining town.
Yeah, exactly.
The sun is shining. What's going on?
Maybe. I don't understand.
Maybe too much Guinness.
Maybe too much Guinness.
We need to talk. If we just summarize it now, you have Nantes and Metz going down that we knew already, and then we have PSG, Lens, and Lille direct qualification for Champions League. We have Lyon that is going to try their chances in the qualification rounds in the summer for Champions League. Marseille will be in Europa League, and then we have Rennes playing in the Conference League. I want to move over to another headline that we have, and that is that Endrick is now certified to be going back to Real Madrid. What is your thoughts? He managed 5 goals and 7 assists in the 14 matches from start, 16 matches in total. How do you sum up Endrick's time at Lyon, Dennis?
Extraordinary. He's done nothing short of amazing things for Lyon, and especially I think towards the end you could see him fit into the team more and more, and I think it's of course sad for Lyon to see him go. I think.
But weighted, perhaps.
Yeah.
I think that is expected.
Yeah, sure.
But I think there is this old football saying, never fall in love with a lone player. And I think it's applicable here because it could be a bit of a makeup thing here, that it has covered up some holes in this squad, Lyon. Jeff, what do you say? Do you have any lasting memories from Endrick's tenure at Lyon?
What first comes to my mind is the little Brazilian flares dancing he's been providing after goals.
Parc des Princes.
Yeah, definitely. And a couple of great goals and assists that he's provided. So I fully agree with Dennis on the fact that his spell at Lyon has been nothing but great. But also something to have in mind, I think, and something we touched upon a couple of times, is that it feels like Endrick and other players as well, they have performed well when the team have performed well. So I think for Endrick, having an impact in Real Madrid now, with also Mourinho coming in there, being done today, I think he will be performing well, or more likely to be performing well when he has good teammates around him, which he will have plenty of in Real. So it'll be interesting to see how much Mourinho will trust in him, because that could also be an impact to see.
And I think the language there, we talked about it with Fonseca, good that it's Portuguese and a Brazilian. And maybe that will be key for Mourinho to get him flying. But he has a tough challenge, I think, Endrick, ahead of him, trying to get a spot there in the Real Madrid squad, because that's not... Easier things is there in the football world than deserving that shirt.
Yeah, he needs playing time.
He does. He's still young, so it will be interesting to follow his future here. But speaking about players in or out of clubs, we have the fantastic Adrien Thomasson, who has done such a season for Lens. He is leaving on a free agent, and it's close now to him joining Rennes. And I am confused. Lens is going to be in the Champions League. Rennes is going to be in the Conference League. I'm not sure what the deal is here and what's been happening, but it's close now. It's not a done deal, so I'm not going to say it's done. But if it happens, I'm thinking a bit what the reasoning is. Because
that's
sounds a bit like a downgrade.
Yeah, for Thomasson, I think that sounds strange.
Yeah,
that sounds really strange.
And
I read now, though, I mean, that's probably not the reason to it, but Lens have made some inquiries to Troy, the upcomers, a midfielder of there, Martin Adeline, 10 goals, 11 assists in 32 games in Ligue. French player. Had a good season. So might see him coming into Lens, but also been rumors from him going to Lorient or some clubs in the Bundesliga. So already the newcomers from Ligue are getting smashed and grabbed.
But maybe they are doing some squad planning here, bringing in a younger Adeline, because 22 years old versus Thomasson, 32. I mean, he's more of a veteran. And maybe it's the right thing, but if we continue on the track, we have some other rumors.
Yeah, and I would like to stay there in just considering Ligue players who are currently playing. Le Paul. No rumors I've heard yet, but I mean 21 goals as we've spoken about.
Yes.
I was thinking, he's young still somewhat, and I was thinking, wouldn't he be a good fit for Serie A, like some team there? I was going into Serie A and I was looking this year. Martinez in Inter, he won with 17 goals, followed by Thuram and Dovikas in Como, both on 13. I mean, he could easily score 10-15 goals in Serie A.
Yes.
Juventus haven't had a good striker in some while. Perhaps Roma or some other teams.
Yeah,
if he would be interested in something like that.
I can imagine that he would be. Just thinking of my own perspective here, but I'm thinking there's gonna be a hefty price tag, I think. And then maybe we are left at clubs like Juventus, Milan, Inter.
Might struggle.
Yeah, but exactly, I'm not sure exactly where the finances are at the moment. But of course, he should be a hot target because what a season he's been having. And then if we just talk about strikers, Giroud, he's been openly saying now that he wants to play on and stay in Lille. Do you think he's going to get an extension?
I mean, he's done some work, but he's getting up there.
Yeah, he's older.
In age, he's getting older. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe think about retirement soon, even though he's
retire.
Okay, so you are taking the perspective that Giroud should just himself retire.
No, but I think he would contribute really well, like as a
with
coach
leadership
or something,
or
with leadership. Yeah.
Jeff, you're the sporting director.
Accumulated knowledge he has.
Yeah.
I don't have the books like what kind of salary all the players have, but I would imagine that Giroud, he gets a couple of euros every month. So if he can agree to get less paid compared to what he has now, I don't know what he get paid, but just less paid, and I think they will still like to have him for another season. Even though he's mainly scored, a couple of penalties and some goals here and there, he's getting a lot of praise from management and players because of his leadership, in the dressing room, on the bench, at the field, but all those factors as well. So I think he can be important in that sense, which would talk to him being able to stay another season. So I think it's a 50-50, because if Lille does not want to renew his deal for another year, I'm not quite sure if he has the motivations to find another club who's not holding at least top 5 quality in Liga. I'm not sure if he wants to step down, to, I love Sinayoko, but to be, behind Sinayoko in Auxerre, I wouldn't see him do anything like that. Then I think he might want to retire himself.
Yeah. And I mean, maybe they will offer him a role as a coaching staff as well. Then you have a much lower salary, of course, being there supporting the players, and not the same, role in the club. There is another position for a young striker to be there and learn. But let's see, it's interesting. Another one, we a lot about attacking players recently, but Barcola to Arsenal.
Interesting.
I think it's a bit weird, this rumor coming ahead of a Champions League final between the two clubs.
Yeah.
It's a bit early. I mean, we don't have an open transfer window. There is a World Cup after that. So I think I don't give much for this, but it seems like to have some weight, and that Liverpool was initially interested as well, but have backed off.
I've heard Liverpool being interested as well, but from a PSG perspective, they have Kvaratskhelia, Dembélé, Doué, Barcola.
Yeah.
Mainly. I mean, those are the 4 players that they play up front.
Yeah.
You need 4.
You need they have the Korean Kang In, of course, but I agree that they are the top 4. And I would say that Barcola is the 4th choice. Or that has been the feeling.
Yeah, at least, I mean, this season.
Yeah.
And Doué has stepped up a lot the last 2 months or so.
Yeah.
I mean, he was injured for a bit, but he's playing 4th now, so that might, for him, he might wants to play, week in, week out, as everybody does. But from PSG perspective, if they sell him, they're gonna bring in someone else, because you need 4 there. I mean, one injury, can definitely happen, and then the others get exposed.
I mean, they need to look at that, and I think they're gonna put a hefty price tag there, and Arsenal is gonna need to consider, is it worth it?
But then who would Arsenal take away? I mean, Jesus, or Madueke.
I think they would aim to have him on the left flank, Barcola, and then you would have Saka to the right, and then I think it's Victor Gyökeres up top. That would be the trio.
But I mean, Arsenal has quite a lot of players.
Yeah, exactly.
So
yeah.
who would they?
I think they would consider this finding a solution for Martinelli as well, Madueke. I think these players. Because
I mean, you brought in as Madueke. I mean, Victor as well, but I guess
it's a big squad.
Yeah,
and this rumor, I don't give too much of it. Speaking of Arsenal, though, Balogun, with the season he's had in Monaco, 13 league goals. There is no clubs him being rumored to, but there is a lot of rumors that he will leave. Do you have any destination where you would advise Balogun to go to prosper in his career further? Because it's still a decent level playing at Monaco, scoring goals.
Yeah.
What would be the next step for Balogun, where he would play?
That's a very good question. Wow.
Spurs.
As a former Arsenal youngster, I think that one will be tricky. But I mean, maybe behind the top 4 or 5 clubs in England. I mean, finding himself playing in, let's say, an Aston Villa. Not that I know if they are in need, they have Watkins up there. But I think Balogun could find that. But in a way, then staying in Monaco is also an option, because they will contend for European football next season, I believe, again with Ansu Fati and him.
Yeah, but I don't see any Premier League clubs. I mean, you have City, you have Arsenal, Liverpool,
Man
Chelsea.
United.
Yeah, United as well. I mean, they have plenty up top now with Cunha, Mbuemo, Šeško. I mean, Liverpool, Isaac Hugo. I mean, all of them clubs, João Pedro in Chelsea. I don't think any of those top 5, if you could call them that, is an interest of Balogun.
I have a suggestion. Not maybe that Balogun would consider it as a top choice, but you have Paris FC putting in funds now to grow. Why not grab? What a statement signing to grab a firing striker from Monaco up to Paris. And show that they mean business with their project. Because I guess Ciro Immobile, I mean, with his age, and also he's not been playing much lately, maybe he's tired or I mean, has some small injury. Do you see that likely?
I mean, I'm first thinking that I'm not sure if Paris FC is going to be able to contest that much further next year. So what I'm saying there is that if Monaco would be afraid to sell to what they see as another team contesting them for, let's say, top 4 or something like that, But having that in mind, if they see them as contested or not, I'm not sure I've seen that many statement signings between the clubs within Ligue. I mean, Mbappé is obviously one, Monaco to Paris. And there has been, some over the years, but it doesn't seem like it happened that often that they sell to each other within the league. And then for Balogun, I mean, if I were with him, why doesn't he just perform another great season in Monaco? And then if he wants to leave, he will leave then.
Yeah, could be.
Or what do you think?
Yeah. I think it's a good environment. Obviously, he has shown this whole spring, ever since winter, that it's a fantastic environment for him. So that is definitely an option. And I think the price tag could be an issue. I mean, looking at some latest figures, we're talking about maybe 25 million euro. And that is quite a lot for something that is not guaranteed, which is
25
million euro, yeah. So 250 Swedish.
But that's not a lot.
No, but I'm thinking that the goal production, we've seen it now for 6 months, but is it a guarantee? I think that they should go and meet, let's say if there is a price tag, I think Monaco will raise it though. This is an estimated market value figure I found online, which you can always debate. But I'm just thinking, who knows if he's going to continue? Maybe if he continues for another half a year, then we're talking. But let's see. It will be super interesting.
Over to Nice. We have 2 very hectic upcoming weeks for Nice, and very important as well.
Everything is at stake.
Everything is at stake. It's both the Cup and relegation playoffs.
I don't know. I get a bit stressed and nervous just thinking about it, being a Nice player at this part of the season, because of course a Cup final, that's going to be, some of these players, it's the match of the career and it's an opportunity for silverware. But you have the president, he is stating clearly where the priority should lay.
Yeah, and I also think he's very much considering who they're playing against. They're playing Lens. Had a great game against Lyon the other day, and by far is the better team. So, I'm just saying, they're playing a great Lens side here, and statistically, it's not looking very good. And just 2 days after that, Sunday, right?
No, 4 days. 4 days. They got a few extra.
Tuesday.
I think initially it was planned for Sunday, but now that it falls like this, it's gonna have to be
Tuesday.
Yeah.
But then they're playing away against Saint-Étienne,
which will be tough.
Which will be very tough. And it feels like so many things have just gone against Nice recently. Yeah. I mean, because they played bad, so it's not that they're unlucky in that way, but they're not coming into neither of these games, with a bit of fortune behind them or with some momentum. So very tough.
Very, and I mean, Jean-Pierre Rivière, the president who came back to Nice this season, and of course, focus will be to help and save the club. I mean, he's stating it that the Coupe de France is no longer a priority. The priority is definitely to stay in Ligue. And I can see that point, because a trophy would be fantastic, but if they go down, I think it's the minus will be too big.
Yeah, I don't know by numbers the economics, but comparing the winning and what money they'll bring in with that in the Coupe compared to going down to Ligue 2, comparing it financially, it's better to stay up. I don't know. Also, Saint-Étienne, what are we looking at there? What are your thoughts on their chances of beating them over 2 games? I mean, they played the last game at home. I think that's a bit of an advantage.
Yeah, that's plus for Nice, and I think Saint-Étienne, football quality-wise, they are a bit below Nice at the moment. It's my assessment here, but I think given the mentality difference, coming as a upcomer, as a great big club with historical heaviness and loads of supporters, positive because they beat Rodeo on penalties now to reach this playoff. I mean, they're coming with such an energy, and I think that's gonna possibly be the difference here, with Nice coming with heavy heads. Imagine also if it's a final defeat, which is likely. It's almost like the footballing world comes crashing down at Nice, and it's going to be hard to manage. But I think there is some players in Nice, you can look at their quality, and it's going to be interesting. Footballing wise, plus for Nice, mentality and, you know, attitude and everything they come with into this match, it's a plus Saint-Étienne. And the fans, I look forward to seeing this, because it's two great set of fans, supporters for both clubs, but it will be interesting to follow.
Okay, what about the predictions then for the Coupe final?
I mean, my take is Lens is going to take it home.
What is it going to be? What's the score going to be?
It's gonna be. I don't think Lens will concede any goals, and I think they will score. I think they will score 3 goals, 3-0 Lens. I think that's what we're looking at.
I want to be bold here, but I'm gonna say that I find it very hard. It's El Yawahi in Nice is the only one that I can see making a difference for them, but. I mean, they come off the 4 last matches is actually a draw against OM, a draw against Lens, which is actually 2 quite okay results given Nice quality. But then the loss against Auxerre, and then not being able to beat Metz at home, it speaks volumes. And then instead you have Lens coming off this great 4-0 victory. I think I have to give a result prediction. I'm gonna go with 3-1 for Lens.
And I will say 2-0 Lens.
Oh,
I thought you were going to bring the Nice there.
No.
No, 1 goal, mid 35 minutes, and then second 60th, and then they just chill.
Yeah.
Bag it.
Yes. One interesting fact I just want to bring in for all of you listeners and also us sitting here. If you look at the last 5 matches between the 2 clubs, it's actually Nice who has won a bit more. Lens have won 1. And then you have 2 victories for Nice, and then you have 2 draws. So historically, recent history is quite an even matchup. But let's all see Friday what a football party it will be at Stade de France.
All right, Le Foot Pronos, and we will now give you the winner of McDonald's Deluxe. So ahead of this last fixture, and I must say for me here that I was asked by the boys to say my prediction of this fixture, and I was in the car in Ireland, so I didn't really have the time to focus that much. Yeah. So I played a bet on a game that wasn't maybe that sexy. I played Lorient to win at home against Le Havre. They lost.
I missed the penalty as well.
Crazy. So not the best for me. Charlie, do you want to give yours?
Yeah, and mine is even more disappointing than that, because I put Ciro Immobile to score, and maybe he would have been, but he wasn't even on the bench. So mine was, nulled out and didn't even make it to the betting table. And I just want to summarize before I hand it over to you, Dennis, that going into this, we had Jeff as a leader on 0 points. We had me, number 2, as -1. And we had Dennis at -4. And then, Dennis, you put a bet for 7 points for Paris FC to beat PSG. Take us through it.
I mean, I went all in on the fact that PSG... they had already won the league and probably wouldn't put up the toughest fight. And I know that Paris FC, Kumbarea coming in is probably hungry, and I mean Paris FC also hungry to show themselves. And I mean, I just saw the 7 points on top of that, and I went with it.
You grab them like you're gonna grab your McDonald's meal.
Because 94th minute, you have Gori counter-attacking in 2-1, and the stadium explodes, and fantastic emotions. And I look forward to seeing you explode after just indulging in tons of McDonald's together with us. But let me ask you one thing: what are you ordering?
I don't know yet.
But you have to start with a proper menu and then sides.
Yeah. Oh my God, this is going to be good.
Nuggets with some...
nuggets. That's good. But I'm thinking maybe a classic Big Mac.
On top of that.
On top of that. Yeah.
Are you going to put some nuggets inside your Big Mac?
Oh no, I don't know if I will go that far.
You do them on the side.
Yeah, do them on the side, and some sauce with the nuggets, and of course some chips with that, or pommes frites, and
some béarnaise with those French fries.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm quite a fan of the béarnaise from McDonald's.
Yeah, but the guys, you're talking, Jeff, this is gonna ruin our finances. He's ordering everything from the menu, but that's what you should do, you know. Because well deserved. I have to say congratulations on my end. Me and Jeff both end up at -1, and Dennis, you end up at +3. So it's well deserved, and I look forward already to next season's Le Foot Pronos, because it will be back in August, and then. You, as a reigning champion, we're coming for you from match week 1. We're gonna be doing it, and and I look forward to sitting with you in McDonald's as well. I have to pay for my own shit though. But really good.
That's perfect.
I also just want to say a few words. It's fantastic now. The season is over, and we don't have any Ligue 1 match week to look forward to for quite some time. But I want everyone who has listened this far to know that we are going to be making episodes week in, week out. Next week, we'll, of course, talk down the amazing Coupe, and then talk up the fantastic Champions League final that is to be watched on the 29th, PSG versus Arsenal. But over the summer, we also aim to give you special episodes about different topics. It can be the transfer updates. It can also be some historical info, stories. And also we want to look into PSG, summarize their season, give some overall top lists from this season. Anything more?
The further it goes, we will talk about... rumors for players and the next season as it comes.
Yes, and maybe look into the newcomers on some special episodes, what they need to do and where they come from. I think we should also, of course, look into Marseille, because that's a never-ending story. Are they going to sell every player? Should they? What should they do? They have a new sporting director now, starting in the summer. So there is so much to talk about, and we're going to keep it coming week in and week out, so stay tuned.
So thank you for that, Charlie. Fantastic summarize of the season and episodes we had, but emphasize there on it will keep coming. But before that, as always, follow us on socials, subscribe, and give us a rating wherever you listen to podcasts. And remember to tell a football-loving friend of Le Foot. For queries, you're always welcome to reach out at lefootpodcast@gmail.com. Have a great week, and we'll see you next Monday. Au revoir.